Hi, I'm Siebe de Vos from the company Freemind, located in Belgium, in Italy, and I'm the German subsidiary. What we do is develop a platform called Leonardo. I'll give you a very short overview of what it is and what we do in it with Lisp. I've been now a Lisp programmer for over 20 years, and what you see here is the result of this experience also of other people who started it even earlier. We managed to stay in the business of writing Lisp and producing something that we can sell. What it is a screen of the Leonardo application, which is used to manage technical installations. Typically, in this case, it's a very large building. What you see is all the monitored points we have, in this case, the electrical installations. So what is the purpose of this application? It should show alarms and events, things that are happening that are relevant for the operator of the building, the security people. Then you should be able to see the performance of your installation. This is one of those charts where you can see, for example, your electricity consumption. You should compare the consumption at different times. You should look back in time. So we build a web user interface on top of this. In fact, this is all the ACL web server. And we build our own Ajax framework. So I won't explain all of Leonardo, but just a few of the Lisp features we use. We have decided to model everything we do in a what we call a meta model that drives the implementation. There are a few reasons we do this. First of all, we have a history of doing it as a kind of expert system where the users were supposed to model their own domain using a user interface, an editor for the domain. And that was maybe not so successful. We all know what happened to the expert systems. What is it? High times. They're over. But what I found for myself very useful is the using very high-level concepts to build your own applications and to have the way to introduce new high-level concepts with a lot of automated code generation around it. So you can do that purely in Lisp, but what we decided, because, well, my boss wants to be future-proof, we try to do it not in a Lisp-dependent way, but rather go more in a kind of UML modeling. So what you see here is a few examples of our meta model. The Lisp syntax is macros, but I think in this case it's really not a style issue, because the macro is expressing exactly what you could do expressing XML or anything else, and it has not, it's purely syntactical. There is no Lisp interpretation behind it. So we have the meta model consists of atomic simple types, then we have aggregate types, in fact the classical sequence with typed elements, the set and the sequence of, which is like a list. 1 minute, okay. We make types, then we have things called complex objects called resources, and they are based on a resource category. And when you develop a resource category, when you model one, you should also implement it somewhere in another system. We do it in Lisp, but you could do it in another language. What we first do is the modeling. Of course, in that meta model, based on the types, we can build classes. This is again the Lisp syntax to define a class, where we have attributes with strong types. But as a Lisp programmer, I introduced the type CF value, which is the same as T in Lisp. So strong types, but the value could be anything. The managed relations, of course, between resources and the implementation of attributes can be persistent, transient, functional, and so on. This is the Lisp implementation of it, and that's all. I just wanted to say one more thing. our company is looking for a Lisp developer. I mean, we've been using Lisp, so somebody is interested. It's a position in process. Yeah.